Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing as the Bedford High School drill team presents our nation's colors. At this time, I'd like to invite our senior members of the concert choir, under the direction of Mrs. Susan Riley, to join the chorus to sing our nation's anthem.
Stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Please remain standing as I invite Class President, Vice President Jocelyn Scribner to rise to the lectern to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Good afternoon. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
And it gives me great pleasure to ask the members of the Bedford High School Concert Choir to perform their final selection. It is called My Way Back Home.
I may wander
Please remain standing as we retire the colors. You know, when I came to Bedford, I came here because I knew the school district had very high standards. I didn't realize that seniors were required to graduate twice. Welcome to Bedford High School, the home of the Bedford Bulldogs, and the site of the 2011 commencement ceremony. My name is Bill Hagan, and I have had the honor and the pleasure to serve these outstanding young men and women as their principal over the past year. To open this afternoon's ceremony, I would like to introduce our distinguished platform guests. Joining us for the ceremony this afternoon are members of the Bedford School Board. Board Chairwoman, Mrs. Terry Wolf, Assistant Chair, Mrs. Cindy Shagnon, Mr. Don Graff, Mr. Scott Earnshaw, and Mr. William Foote. Superintendent of Schools, Mr. Tim Mays, Assistant Superintendent of Schools, Mr. Chip McGee, Assistant Principals, Mr. Bob Jazokis, and Mr. Gary Dempsey. Thank you for joining us this afternoon to honor this graduating class. I'd like to begin my brief remarks this afternoon by speaking to the families of the graduates, especially those moms and dads and guardians who, over the past 18 years, have nurtured, guided, and supported their children as they have navigated their way through childhood and adolescence. That being said, this ceremony represents as much an accomplishment for you as it does for your graduate. And while I realize that sending them off into the world may be a cause for some anxiety, be assured that if they are in cap and gown this afternoon, you have done a remarkable job as a parent. I'd also like to recognize that over the past 12 years, I'd also like to recognize all the teachers that have, over the past 12 years, done their very best to prepare this class with the knowledge and skills necessary to succeed once they leave our care. While no two students' experiences have been the same, the receipt of a Bedford High School diploma signifies that each of them have met our school's standards and are prepared for the challenges of the future. Seniors, please join me in showing your appreciation to your parents and your teachers, for they have done more than you will ever know to get you here this afternoon. And to the class of 2011, there are three firsts that I'd like to draw your attention to. One, you were the first class to go grades 1 through 12 here in the Bedford School District. Yep. Two, you're the first four-year class to graduate from Bedford High School. And most importantly, and something I want you to always remember, you're the very first class to be able to say that your blood runs Bulldog red. I want to congratulate each of you for meeting the requirements and competencies for graduation from Bedford High School. I applaud you for your perseverance, your determination, and most importantly, your leadership as a class that you have demonstrated over the past 4 years. While I have only been here for 1 year, My daily observations make it easy for me to see just how much influence as a class you have had on this school. We do not have a good school. We have a great school. A school filled with students who are curious and challenging and who care about others and who want to do the right thing. We have, to a large extent, this type of school because our leaders, this class, have modeled the important values found in our school mission over the past 4 years. Today you will receive your high school diploma. This important event signifies that you have earned a level of success and stand ready to begin the next phase in your life. The experience has no doubt been different for each of you, but will serve as a foundation upon which you begin to build your future. Your life after high school will be filled with many exciting opportunities. You will, however, be faced with your share of challenge and struggle. Your mettle will be gauged not so much by the opportunities that you take advantage of, it will be measured by how you manage the struggles you may encounter along the way. Winston Churchill once said, "Success is not final, failure is not fatal, it is the courage to continue that counts." Until now, your parents, family, your friends, they've shared in the responsibility for your growth and your success. And while I am sure that each of you has faced some degree of adversity along the way, the time for courage to stand on your own is upon you. As you leave Bedford High School, be confident that you are prepared to take on new opportunities and challenges. And always keep in mind that it is what we learn, the strength we gain from failing, and the courage to continue that is important. Remember, every struggle can present an opportunity to grow. In closing, I would like to say that over the past year, this class has demonstrated an understanding of the importance of friendship, of being considerate toward, and of being tolerant and accepting of each other's uniqueness. I hope that as each of you plan your future and aspire to achieve your dreams, you will remember that your life will be enriched by the lives you touch. On behalf of the entire Bedford School community, I want to say thank you. Thank you for the manner in which you have conducted yourselves, for the examples that you have set for the underclassmen, for the challenging questions that you have asked. Thank you for the exciting and important memories with which you leave us. You have been an exceptional class, each member unique and special. I am confident that as you leave Bedford High School, you will go on to make a positive mark on our world. I wish you each happiness, luck, health, and great success. Thank you. This year's Leadership Award recipient is a young woman who personifies a student who meets all of the criteria for this award. She is a highly successful academician, earning honor roll status for every semester in our challenging International Baccalaureate Diploma program. She is committed to serving others and her school, but equally impressive is her natural ability to lead. Quoting from one of her college recommendations written by Dean of Student Services, Mr. James Brown, "This young woman has an innate ability to make those around her better, which, in her case, makes for a better school culture and a spirited student body." This year's recipient is driven by a simple yet deep passion to influence the direction and attitude of her peers through respectful collaboration. Chief editor of the school newspaper and the yearbook, secretary for the National Honor Society, and a member of our leadership club, please join me in recognizing this year's Leadership Award recipient, Ms. Allison Nagy.
Oh my goodness, hi. So I was gonna say good morning, but good afternoon, family, friends, teachers, administration, and graduates of the class of 2011. So in the past week, I spent a lot of time, like most of us did, musing over my entire high school career, wondering where the time went, whether I made the most of my experience, and thinking about my favorite memories and wondering which people I would remain friends with 10 years down the line. And I came to one somewhat unexpected realization. I actually enjoyed high school, and I'll miss it a lot. And trust me, that's a lot easier to say after having a whole week off without doing any work at all. But specifically, I really enjoyed coming here to Bedford High School. So let me start out by explaining my background here at Bedford High School. I didn't go through all 4 years of school here. I moved here to Bedford in April of my freshman year, and it was a definite culture shock. At my old school in Michigan, we didn't have many honors classes. My school probably offered 5 AP classes in total, and I had never even heard of an IB program at all. So I spent a lot of additional time and effort working with my teachers and classmates to keep up with our expectations here. But in addition to strong academics, another thing really stood out to me at Bedford High School. And maybe it's because only 2 grades in a high school makes a new student a lot more noticeable than it would otherwise. But I found that everyone was really kind and willing to make my transition here as smooth as possible. So not only were the students hardworking and intelligent, but they were really friendly. And I was in absolute heaven. I was welcomed onto the lacrosse team, which was a sport that I don't even think we played in Michigan at all. And I took advantage of a lot of our student-run clubs, and I began to feel like I had been here all along. And I'm happy to say that 3 years later, I still view our graduating class in that same positive light. So I feel like this competitive but supportive atmosphere has really prepared our graduating class to head out into the real world. And we're definitely going out into the real world. According to the list of college acceptances that students reported to the College Career Center last week, we're going to 25 different states and Washington, D.C. as a class. So we're really taking Bedford High School out into the nation. And we'll also be represented in several of the U.S. Armed Forces, which is pretty cool. So let's be honest, if we're anything like the class of 2010, we'll be back within the walls of Bedford High School come fall, seeing our teachers and our friends and everything else. Maybe the juniors will call us the seniors. I don't really know. But how about we step back for a moment and think about all that we accomplished here? Well, maybe you remember the days when the local newspaper used to refer to our athletes as the Bedford Poodles instead of the Bedford Bulldogs. And now we not only win games, but we set divisional records and state championships. And we've made our way through Wellness 3 and People to People, which are 2 courses that no other graduating class of Bedford High School will have the great pleasure of enduring. But how about those houses we used to have? You guys remember those, right? Red, blue, pink, green, orange, brown, purple, and yellow, dressing the ceramic dog in your house colors when you won the pep rally. And maybe you'll also remember the great student revolution that led to the disbandment of those houses as well. But perhaps you also remember the great cookie battle between the school store and the cafeteria, and you too cringe at the sound of those opening notes of Party in the USA, and you know why. But maybe you can recall the student body coming together this year, led by members of our graduating class, to congratulate and thank our teachers for being so supportive over the years. I don't think it would be right to stand up here and congratulate all of us for graduating without recognizing the hardworking staff for going above and beyond their job descriptions to ensure our success. So as our time here comes to an end and we make our way out into the real world, where furthering your education costs $40,000 a year and the local grocery store denies your application no matter how many times you apply, let's always remember the path we set as the first class to go through all 4 years at Bedford High School, and take from that experience that we can create our own paths into the future wherever we want to go. So congratulations, class of BHS 2011. We did it. Thanks.
Just as you do everything else, Allison, very well done. Thank you. I'd like to ask the senior members of the Bedford High School Band to join their classmates and conductor, Mr. James Butka, for the last time as a band member, and for everyone else to enjoy a musical selection, The Impossible Machine, written by Eric Morales. Wow. As the seniors make their way back to their seats, I do want to take just a moment to thank all of you for your patience and your flexibility with the weather today. It was greatly appreciated. I also want to thank all of the folks that helped us out to make this possible. The vendors that run the stage, that set the stage up for us, sound people, the TV station. In particular, I want to thank our superintendent of schools. I've worked in a number of school districts, and I've worked for many fine superintendents, but I'm not sure that I worked for a superintendent until now that was out in the rain with us, picking up chairs and helping us to load them until the entire facility was set up. So, Mr. Mays, I want to thank you for being here this afternoon. A four-year class president and leader, Jordan Dempsey has had a remarkable influence on our school and school culture. Be it in the classroom, as an outstanding IB student, as an athlete in the athletic arena, as a member of our school's community senate, or just walking the halls of Bedford High School, through his leadership, commitment to, and energy and passion for our school, he has done more to shape what it means to be a bulldog than all others. As his teacher, Mr. Stuart Pepper, stated in his recommendation of Jordan, he has a sparkling sense of humor with a serious dedication to his studies. And if you don't know him, I'm sure that's hard to believe, he's also a pretty good all-around guy. Please join me in extending a warm welcome to our first four-year class president, Jordan Dempsey.
4 years ago, at about this time in the year, I sat in the guidance office at McKelvey Middle School. I was there because I wanted to weigh the pros and cons of attending the new public high school that was in the process of being built versus one of the local private schools. I was assured by a counselor that all of the private schools in the area had excellent reputations, and with a good work ethic, I could develop into a moral person and get into a good university. I then asked about the new Bedford High School. What will that be like? What will the culture be like there? What assurances can you make about that school? Quickly, I found that no answers existed. What concrete statement could be made about a school when the concrete forming the walls of the structure had not yet dried? While I could not be promised an intriguing curriculum, excellence in athletics, or a history of academic success, a promise was made to me, a promise unlike any other. I was promised the opportunity to initiate any group or club that I wished, whether it be to save our planet with the Go Green Club, to produce my own publications with the newspaper club, or to whack my classmates with bamboo in a kendo club. I was promised the opportunity to fulfill the ambitious rhetoric of the mission statement, to challenge myself, and to exceed my comfortable limits. I was promised the opportunity to transition a building into a community, and to fulfill a dream that members of this town had fought for over decades. And as I sat there in the guidance office that day, I decided to gamble on the unknown. I took the challenge to be part of an opportunity for greatness over a guarantee of comfortable security. And as I reflect back on my 4 years at Bedford High School, I recognize just how much that gamble paid off. Every member of this class and every member of the Bedford community should be overcome with pride and joy by the transformation that we have witnessed and participated in over the past 4 years. Students, parents, staff, administration, and community members have worked in conjunction to transform an empty building into a home, a place of discovery, collaboration, and the fulfillment of potential. Every member of our class has contributed to the final product which we stand in now, and we all leave part of ourselves behind. We, the class of 2011, must now part ways with our creation, and we bequeath this product of our efforts to the classes behind us and generations to come, with the knowledge that they will build upon our enthusiasm for the promises of opportunity and their translation into reality. But what about us who are leaving Bedford High School? Well, we all have a special connection to the school, this community, and the many friends that we've made. Reality tells us that we must move on with our lives. We will travel in separate directions, new friends will be made, old stories will be forgotten, and our connection will fade. But our experience is not lost, far from it. Hopefully in your time here at BHS, you've learned many things and accumulated knowledge about a myriad of academic topics. This knowledge will undoubtedly serve some of you well as you grow up, go to college, start a career. But I hope that you've gathered more than knowledge. I hope that you've gathered wisdom. Wisdom conflicts with knowledge because knowledge is stagnant and unchanging. Knowledge is, in some sense, a very boring thing. Wisdom is broader. It is the critical thinking skills and skepticism for the things that seem concrete around us, but only in such a way that permits and encourages the most unhindered change and flourishment as time violently, steadily ticks away. The knowledge we have gathered in high school is important, but I hope that we've discovered more than just facts and formulas. I hope that we filled our heads with better things: excitement, passion, uncertainty, and intrigue, to name a few. For these are all characteristics of youth. Reality also tells us that we're growing older. We are all quickly becoming adults, and society insists that we must move away from childish behavior and at some point concede that youth is a thing of the past. While I am young myself and know little about the aging process, here's what I've noticed so far. As you grow old, you begin to know many things. You're told that your ideas are only as good as the commodities that they can manifest. Slowly, you begin to accumulate many things, and you build four walls around you. You may use these walls to show yourself to others, to say, "This is who I am." But soon, you become defined and constrained by these walls. But this does not have to be your fate. We all have a choice, an opportunity to let ourselves go, to take risks, and to be undefined in purpose. We have a choice to be young in everything that we do, to celebrate creativity, to reject mediocrity in our lives, and to demand excitement in every minute that we breathe. We have a choice to fight for youth. Youth is a celebration of life, of mistake, of feeling, of doing rather than knowing, of experience over knowledge, of action. Excitement is a thing of youth, and it cannot be a thing that disappears with age. For when wonder turns to knowing, people become unchanged and uninteresting. This is a plea to all of us. Give up the things that define you. Break down your four walls and connect with others. While we may not be able to fight the physical forces of time, we do have a choice to at least put forth a valiant effort. If I could re-enter that guidance office at McKelvey Middle School today, what would I say to my 8th grade self? What advice would I give as I contemplated my future high school career? Well, I would urge myself to have a philosophical conversation with the Tibetan monks, to try out for the cheerleading squad, to grow a beard in hopes of looking like Shushi, to join the ping pong club, to sneak into the mini gym, to take a class in a subject that I knew nothing about, and then to take a TD, to plant a garden, to complain so much about houses that the school gets rid of them, to run around in a revealing green man suit, to listen and then to speak, to friend Alex Barnes on Facebook, and then to make a friendly atmosphere at Bedford High School. Simply, I would tell myself 3 words: inflict, demand, affect. For soon our bones will grow weak, and our muscles tired, and our memories dim. But we will reflect back on these days and remember that we felt, without sight or even consciousness of the fact, but we did feel. For at the moment where we finally square off with ourselves and contemplate the worth of it all, the worth of struggle and of hardship and of joy and of indecision and of relentless time, that fleeting and cold thing, we should all hope to stand tall and say with confidence that we know no shame, no regret, and know not the meaning of purpose. And with this confidence, we stand firm and say that experience is our monument to the sky, our answer to God. So after this commencement ceremony, as we travel down separate paths and begin to grow apart, please remember not the knowledge, but the wisdom that you learned at Bedford High School. Remember what you felt. Remember what we felt together. Remember the reward of choosing an opportunity for greatness over that of comfortable security. And remember to fight for youth. Stay young, everybody. Thank you.
Boy, am I glad I don't have to follow him. Many of our seniors have chosen to continue their education by attending a wide range of post-secondary institutions. As a way to recognize all the students who have earned scholarship, grant, acceptances to an institution, I would like to invite any students who are moving on to a 2- or 4-year institution to please stand and remain standing. During Thursday's Senior Awards ceremony, representatives from 32 community organizations were here to present scholarship awards to members of our graduating class. The local awards totaled just around $40,000. It is just another example among many of how this community values and supports its children and these young adults. On behalf of this senior class, I want to thank our community for your generous support of our students. Seniors, please be seated. Thank you. Would the following students please stand? Jeff Riley, Ryan Lefebvre, Mike Handy, Christopher Giraldi, Joshua Dolan, Courtney Brisson. We have a number of our seniors who choose to serve our country through their military service or in a service academy. At this time, I would like everyone to join me in extending our heartfelt gratitude for their commitment to our nation. We thank you. At this time, I'd like to invite Superintendent Tim Mays to the podium for the presentation of the class of 2011.
On behalf of the school board and the hundreds of professional and support staff of the district, I extend my sincere congratulations to the second graduating class from Bedford High School. You've raised the bar for future classes and have continued to accept the challenge of developing a respectful and supportive culture here at Bedford High School. On a personal level, reflecting back on these 4 years, the one word that comes to my mind that describes this class best is compassionate. And watching how you have helped each other during difficult times and how many of you individually and collectively have given to others through your service, you've put yourself behind and supportive of your classmates and people throughout the country, and I'm quite proud of that. Do not lose that compassion. It is now my honor and privilege to present to the Bedford School Board for the awarding of diplomas, the class of 2011.
I'd like to ask Thanks, guys. Thank you. I'd like to ask School Board Chairperson, Mrs. Terry Wolf, to join us center platform. Assistant Principal, Mr. Bob Jazokis, and Mr. Gary Dempsey for the conferring of the diplomas.
Mrs. Bonnie Allen's advisory, presented by Ms. Charbonneau. Yoshi Altamirano. Corinne April Breton. Michael V. Cambria. Shannon Rose Dwyer. Chantel Elizabeth Eno. Nicholas Fuller. Sean Polly. Michelle Redmond. Christian Seaschultz. Miles C. Utel. Erin Christine Williams.
This is Jennifer Bainey's advisory. Kelly Ayotte. Haley E. Berg. Kellen Boyden. Francis Connery. Jeffrey Dalrymple. Jennifer George. Evan Frank Lanuza. Herman Augusto Ortiz. Jessica Lynn Savory. Michael Stapleford. Jordan Sauls.
Mr. Gene Blank's advisory. Matthew S. Baker. Gregory M. Betlick. Joseph Dixon. Ashley Marie Donahue. Jennifer Jane Ferruccio. Stephanie Susan Gilbert. Chad Edward Johansson. Casey Lee Levis. Nicole Mackery. Margaret Elizabeth McMurdy. Molly Jean Nettleship.
Miss Emily Blasic's advisory. Stephanie Helen Benson. Camden David Bisson. Kylie Bussing. Angela Ann Selly. Sarah Dinkle. Joshua Dolan. Matthew David Eisenberg. Grace Ann Hastings. Stephanie Alicia Lammy. Danielle Lucille Munoz. Olivia Tuba.
Mr. James Butka's advisory. Elizabeth Andwood. Melanie Louise Burnett. Madison Farron Earl. Mike Elrick. Ryan Finn. Zachary Husband. Carolyn Elizabeth Kelly. Aaron M. Neveu. Jennifer Obesny.
Mr. Sean Carnegie's advisory. Drew Joseph Bisson. Kaylee Busiak. William Fortier. Elizabeth Ann Fortin. Christopher Paul Giraldi. Ryan Christopher Graff. Joseph Marr. Nolan McCall. Molly McGowan. Derek Oakes. Ashley Pearl Wright.
Ms. Melissa Cyrus's advisory. Robert William Kowal. Tori Don Gifford. Ame Victoria Lafond. Dana Lil Elizabeth Pearson. Iman Saeed. Margot Schlichter. Katie Soldow. Genevieve Spagnuolo. Craig Street. Nicholas Villeneuve. Molly Ann Williams.
Miss Kristen Cooney's advisory. R. Chase Adams. Jessica Bearer. Margot Elizabeth Cassidy. Matthew S. Cody. Brianna Elizabeth Dan. Rebecca Elizabeth Dreyer. Alexander Nagy. Laura Marie Heastan. Haley Brooke Kunkel. Ryan Christopher Mulder. Christine Maria O'Brien.
Mrs. Breska Gagnon's advisory. Alexandra Catherine Bishop. Caitlin Elizabeth Canoni. Alexandra Danielle Evans. Mia Girolaman. Lauren Catherine Kelly. Allison Lorendow. Derek J. McAvoy. Carly Pestana.
Mr. Derek Geddes' advisory, presented by Mr. Bellows. Kimberly R. Bartholomew. Sarah J. Buckles. Christopher Joseph Bai. Megan Lynn Delaney. Andrew C. Eckel. Bridget Glasgow. Rebecca Goslin. Jillian Rachel Mayu. Christopher John Austin Peterson. Alexandra Phillip.
Mr. Matthew Gerard's advisory. Kara Bernard. Maxwell Capistran. Katerina Chrysophitis. Nicole Costa. Sarah Michelle Crowell. Lillian Farrar. Sam Joy. Brendan Macaulay Lerman. Wesley Maddox. Sarah Elizabeth Phelps. Brian Plouffe.
Miss Wendy Hieronymus' advisory. Matthew David Bolio. Danielle Marie Blevins. Emily Kutu. Jessica Marie Cutliff. Audrey Ginger. Savannah Holland. Sam Shipman McLean. Jeremy Nault. Courtney Melissa Poirier.
Mrs. Lorraine Herbause's advisory. Taz Belanger. Kendall Benton. Benjamin Boyvede. Liam Cashin. Jeremy Champagne. Ryan Matthew Denninger. Sean M. Donnellan. Tiffany Ann Duhame. Christopher Ryan Geddes. Derek Gillis. Tyler Richard Goslin. Amanda Hallett. Michael Handy. Dylan Kiley. Victor Kreider. Dan Salvatore Maniaci. Allison Morin. Zachary Neveu. Brandon Noel. Neil Patel. Mackenzie Phelps. Avery Rizzo. Troy Stafford. Hunter Trottier.
Miss Stephanie LaFlemme's advisory. Taryn Connors. Mackenzie Kate. Victoria Page Keneally. Ray Nicole Needison. Austin Paul Lozier. Katie Lucier. Nicole Martucci. Michael Prestapino. Jacinda Julia Williams.
Mr. Matthew McDonald's advisory. Leah Christina Blanchette. Bryce Royal Buxton. Nicole Karobis. Ashley Lynn Grimes. Kyle Norton. Giovanna Bell Roy. Brendan William Stone. Amy McCann Sullivan. Craig James Tyre. Matthew William Vitliano.
Ms. Wendy Morrow's advisory. Brian William Bizik. Caitlin McKee Lehman. Patrick McGoldrick. Atika Mirza. Taylor Noel. Lucas Olin. Forrest Schmidt. Come on. They're putting ping pong balls in the basket. Come on, for you. Good job, Mr. Zimmer. Rachel Beth Tettleman. Zachary J. Julius. Justin Michael Walsh. Tyler Walsh. Evan Charles Wolford.
Mrs. Mary Ellen Noble's advisory. Matthew Bond Bolton. Gregory Kiefer. Christos Clardy. Scott T. LaFleur. Nicholas Marguerite. Tabitha Emily Pariseau. Miranda A. Sealander. Abhilash Shah. Jillian Rose Stowe. Taylor Tessier. Samantha Ann Tebow.
Ms. Michaela Nutting's advisory. Ansley Laurie Berg. Courtney Melissa Byer. Whitney Elizabeth Day. Austin Drucker. Thomas Hutter. Courtney Ruthann Jennerjohn. Jacqueline Cooper. Arthur J. Romero. Trevor C. Sonovic. Congratulations. Eric Andrew Street. Andrea Nicole Wilson.
Mrs. Corinne O'Connell's advisory. Elias Robert Berg. Courtney R. Brisson. Abigail DeRochers. Anastasia Hoffman. Richard Kiernan. Alexander Radke. Justin Charles Rooney. Michael Skilton. Arthur Alexander Vanderminden II. Sean David Wilson.
Ms. Christine O'Hara's advisory. Bradley Dow. Stephen James Galante. Ryan LaFave. Santiago Carlos Linares. Jaslyn Dawn Scribner. Kate Elizabeth Steeper. Connor Robert Sullivan. Stephen Peter Troy. Lindsay Elizabeth Vayu. Travis Weber.
Mrs. Emma Porter Carroll Paradise's advisory, presented by Mr. Andrew Michael Mazeski. Christian Benedict Alvino. Joseph A. Angelini. Lauren Kathleen Broder. Brad Cotran. Jordan Andrew Dempsey. Catherine Mary Heffernan. Daniel Lotz Kassler. Danielle Nicole Osborne. Zachary Archer Rizzo. Tyler James Saltzman. Nicholas Salvatore. Michael John Scanlon, Jr.
Ms. Jill Pearson's advisory. Justin Blakely. Erin Victoria Connors. Max D. Glover. Allison Nagy. Ryan Kiesling. Melissa Priscilla LeMay. Daniel S. O'Brien. Aubrey Kinson-Willett. Daniel D. Pascal. Morgan Prue. Jeffrey Riley. Good job. Margaret Ellen Stewart.
Mr. Stuart Pepper's Advisory. Kyle Nicholas Basukas. Alyssa Marie Cloutier. Danny Connolly. Justin Tyler Fleischacker. Ada Fersinetti. Danielle Pearl Guest. Matthew Lawrence Hutter. Wesley Kroll. Alexandra Faye Orsino. Ryan Charles Sanford.
Mr. Scott Sarsfield's Advisory. Justine Julia Andrews. Matthew Cambria. James Face. Rebecca Graney. Jacqueline Marie Harvey. Taylor Corinne Lindsay. Ethan Miller. Kelly Ann O'Rourke. Michael Williams.
Mrs. Catherine Tuttle's advisory. Catherine Campagna. Ashley Elizabeth Kendrigan. Good job. Stephanie Ann Kuhn. Sabrina Lynch. Mackenzie Nine. Samantha Kaylee Popham. Jade Renee Robinson. David Simpson. Cameron Tranchmontaine. Jorge Alberto Venegas. Sarah Victoria Walsh. Jacob Adam Winslow.
Ms. Carrie Welch's advisory. Ashley Bishop. Katie Lane Bonfilio. David Alexander Bundy. Catherine Garrity. Jillian Leslie Mojave. Ryan Travante Regis. Connor Rolke. Nicole Siegert. Elizabeth Terrian. Emily Rose Verdaro. And Patrick Walbridge.
Well, family and friends and platform guests, staff, there remains some final business to attend to. So for that, I'd like to invite back to the podium our class president, Mr. Jordan Dempsey.
All right, so we have a couple final things here. I'm supposed to introduce the class gift. So at the school's request, the class of 2011 has purchased these fine black podiums that were used tonight and for generations to come. So that's pretty sweet, yeah? All right. And next, we would like to recognize two people. First, Carolyn Kelly, because it's her birthday. Great job, Carolyn. And secondly, we'd like to recognize a great man of service. If Mr. Woody Clark would please come to the stage. Okay, wait, what?
Before you go into class, let me have the mic back.
Oh, okay.
Right, and then when you go, when you do the tassel, so I give you the class of 2011.
Okay, sounds good. All right. Mr. Clark has dedicated his life to service. He fought in the Vietnam War, where he received a Purple Heart, and more recently, he has been serving the school and the Bedford community as a custodian for the past decade. And he has been working hard since I began my education at Riddlebrook, and he continues to work hard today. His services will truly be missed as he's retiring at the end of this year, and we wish him the best of luck in his retirement and all future endeavors.
Before I turn the mic back over to our class president for the final bit of business, seniors, yeah, you're almost graduates, almost. I do want to say one thing. I know today was a hard day for all of us doing the work, but even for you folks out at home, I know a lot of things have been inconvenienced. I just want to let you know how much we appreciate the wonderful audience that you have been today. I've been to a lot of graduations, and I don't know, the feel in this room for these young people and the way you conveyed that feeling was just so wonderful. So I want to thank you for staying with us today and for being here for this afternoon and for just being the wonderful audience that you've been today. Thank you so much for that.
So our last order of business is the ceremonial moving of the tassels. So if the marshals could please get the class to stand. Before anything is done, Bulldogs, I just want to let you know that tonight we're gonna rage. Keep it classy, Bulldogs. If everyone could please grab your tassel on the right side, and on 3, we will move it to the left. 1, 2, 3. Congratulations, Bulldogs.
Process out now. Gary, do kids go out front, right? Marshals.